Yeah,
We don't
that's
know.
pretty. It was just ruins of old.
Yes.
Even the dude doesn't know where he came from. The door.
Oh, right. He said he thought his name was
Duval or something like that.
Gifang.
Duvant or I don't know. I don't remember. Where is
Gefang is what I have.
Yep.
Gifang.
All right, cool. Looks he was acting a little crazy right here, so I think we're live. I'm like 95% sure, but otherwise, at least tonight, we got everybody here getting ready for this is session 2 going forward. Systems are still running a little crazy, but I've been messing with this computer like as much as I can constantly, and it's like the video's at least working. Everybody can hear each other. Can you all hear me fine or not?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I'm not hearing any lag from you guys or anything, so that's good. So
Yeah.
at least on somewhat good leggings here. One thing I did want to mention, because right now, like, just number one goal on my mind is getting a new computer here to upgrade this and get things running a bit smoother. So that's kind of the grind right now. I did add on there. If anybody comes through, did add on there. We have a little bar there just showing our progress right now. Right now, the little donation bar down there goes up to 500. That's just half of what I'm estimating, but I've already gathered the other half. So that's just kind of, and as I gather more, I'm going to keep on adding into it so you'll know what the progress is as far as how close we are to getting a new PC set up to, make things run properly. But for now, as long as you can hear us, here we are. Thank anybody out there for coming to join us and hang out for session 2. Episode 3, technically, count session 0. Yeah, so how's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Pretty solid. Yep.
All right. Anybody want to do a recap for the last session?
Go ahead and just read that summary that someone wrote out for us.
Yeah, someone can read that.
Yeah, go for it.
For the first quest, session 1. At the beginning of this session, the team was brought together before Helser von Vilchner. He holds a wooden case and a scroll that tells the party they've been given a mission. He first shows them their pins, a heart speared by a lance for their guild Heartlance. They are tasked to find them missing Professor Pren Hinklin, who was seen last at the ruins south of a town called Finluck. The reward is 750 gold, but for his safe return or any valuables brought back, there's an additional 250 gold. Mercer takes the scroll and they head off. They first check their rations and head towards the stables, where they bargain 2 horses from a reluctant groom to pull a cart. Minnesota befriends the horses with sugar cubes and drives the cart. Mercer beside her, and Nadir, Magni, and Sloan in the back. They see crocodiles on the way, but don't run into any trouble. Upon arriving in town, the party split. Nadir and Grim head to the Red Sty, the only tavern in the small village, to find out more about the situation, while Mercer goes to find a place to keep the horses and a cart overnight. Magni and Minissa stay with the cart and talk briefly about what brought them to the guild. Magni asks Minissa, player dialogue. There was Nadar and Grim sat on the bar with the owner, a woman named Kamara, offered them some drinks, which they happily took. They knew nothing of the processor, but besides the basic knowledge they already knew. Nothing new. They drank a bit more. Mercy were to speak with the Goliath, who was in charge of the area, and they landed named Gullet and asked him about lodging for horses. He offered them 4 silver a night to lodge horses safely. Kamara offered a job to Nadar and Grim about booze running in the middle of the night in order to stop getting gypped by what she believes to stop being gypped by what she believes is Gullet. Mercer asked Magni to play and make a distraction while he snuck into the professor's room. Magni tore the roof off with her very, very cool electric guitar, or lute rather. The only thing of interest within the room was a nail near their window with blood on it, and the room being roughed up. Mercer took a shirt just in case, of which he now owns. They took the night, they all slept in the inn except for Mercer, who went to sleep in the cart with the horses. In the morning, they were into 2 canoes from Gullet, who limited losing his workers to the professor's excavation, splitting up into canoes down the river. They were attacked by 2 crocodiles, which they fought off. That would not without bloodshed. Coming to the campsite, they were met by one of the men working at the site. He told the professor had basically vanished overnight and they were still here working. He mentioned finding Donnie. He told him where the professor's journal had been left in his tent. The party asked him where the dig was, and he sent him to a cave which led him down to a door. Inspecting the door, Mercer scraped his hand on it, which prompted the door to start speaking to him. He said he tasted adventure in the blood, and told then the professor didn't have any adventure with him. Mercer told the door knock knock joke, which delighted him, and he told them they were going to welcome to cut through his door to see what was on his side. The party decided the journal was more important, and went to the tent to get it and read it. The session ended with them around the journal taking a short rest.
Damn.
Was any of that not right?
No, that was all exactly the session from beginning to end. I was looking for bullet points, and you guys laid it all out there.
Next time I'll bullet point a little bit more. I did skip over a paragraph.
No, I totally forgot about the brewery thing. I just added that in there. That's good.
Okay, for sure. Oh yeah. I see him over there. What's that? Ethero. If I'm saying your name wrong, I do apologize. Yeah, I know things are a little bit janky on there right now, but hopefully you can at least hear somewhat. Here, I'm gonna make one little adjustment here. I was trying out these name tag things. Let me see if I can get rid of those. 1 second, get rid of those, and then I'm gonna get rid of my my camera there for me. I want to have the camera on there. You know, I do enjoy my spotlight too, but I think it makes it run a little bit better. So hopefully you guys are at least getting all your audio. Either way, I appreciate you coming through. But yeah, so yeah, that was pretty much the whole session, start to finish there. You guys made your way down. You are now still at the ruins, you know, a couple hours by canoe ride from the small village of Finluck. You guys have the journal. You went to take a short rest. Now I'll leave this up to you all because we do want to get Sloan looped in here, but yeah, we do want to get Sloan looped in here, but she's about a day behind y'all. So if you want to take a long rest instead of a short rest, we can get her looped in. Or if you guys had something you want to accomplish there, I'll leave that up to how you guys want to proceed. No, when. Okay, I don't. No, you guys did take a long rest in the. Yeah, that's right. You guys got rooms at the tavern there and took a long rest. Okay, all right, so that's perfect. So as of right now, you guys were taking your short rest there. Did everybody already get your hit dice and everything? Okay, cool. All right, so by about now, you guys are you know, just getting up from your short rest there, where you are hearing off in the distance, off there, it's kind of towards the water bed or the water's edge, where you can hear another canoe arriving. Sound of feet in the mud as somebody approaches there. Now, you guys are still currently inside of the tent, the abandoned tent that was off to the left of the road there. All right. Yeah, so as you are stepping out there, you do catch sight of a familiar face. It is Sloan approaching after traveling on her own to catch up with the rest of the group, and then finally following your tracks back to where you guys had headed off, and being told that you all were headed towards the ruins, something that everybody in the town knows how to get to, though not that many travel out this way. So following in your guys' tracks, she showed up shortly after.
Inside the tent, Magni's like, guys, it's okay. Nothing can tear through the tent fabric. We're gonna be all right.
I'm gonna shake his hand and kind of nod and walk towards the tent and check if everybody's here. Make sure everybody's okay.
Yeah, so this tent here, so as you're approaching, what you're seeing is kind of a stone pathway leads up to a hill where there's an excavation site. You can see kind of bordered off by these wooden posts. Off to one side of that path, there's a tent, a little bit of smoke coming out, billowing from the inside where there seems to be a little fire burning there. Off to the other side of this little path, there's a tent. The one's much more rugged. Looks like the pins haven't been nailed down in a while, so it's flopping a little bit, but still seems sturdy enough. And from inside there is where you'll find the rest of your group.
Okay. So have they noticed? So as I enter the tent, I'm gonna use Druidcraft to. You can make a sensory effect. I'm gonna make the sound of a squirrel on the other side of the tent and try to scare him.
Do we know
Yeah,
what's
so
happening?
I assume we hear a
Well-
squirrel.
yeah, you guys essentially hear the sound of a squirrel. Now, when you say the sound of a squirrel, do you mean the little squeak they do, or are you just talking about like a squirrel running across a tree?
I kind of want to make like a rabid scrounging squirrel sound like it's inside the tent.
So I don't know if you guys have ever heard what a rabbit-sounding squirrel sounds like. Think of a think like a balloon with a very small hole that someone's squeezing very hard.
And it's inside the tent.
Inside the tent, yes.
Oh my gosh, Magni is out.
I'm immediately grabbing my battle axe and taking a swing at the noise.
I just lift. I assume I'm reading the journal right now. I'm just gonna lift the journal higher so the squirrel doesn't get it, and just
Alright,
keep
so-
it where I am.
So as a number of you begin to scatter, Mercer here, or excuse me, Grim here, actually smashing one of these already somewhat wobbly chairs that sit about inside this derelict tent here. And Mercer standing with his arms raised with the journal. The squeaking, how long does that spell last for?
It's like a couple of rabid squeaks and then it's over. It's not too. It's just
so as quickly as it came, it's gone, and you guys are left in the confusion of what the hell that might have been.
Rabbit ass squirrels this way.
Hey, Sloan.
Magni, I thought
You
you
just
said
got here?
nothing
I'm outside
could
the
get
tent.
in. Magni,
Magni, I
you
trust
said
you.
nothing could get in.
I wouldn't go in there right now. There's like rabid swamp squirrels, and we fought our way here, and it was really hard.
I think I made my introduction. I'm going to take my time. I'm kind of just gonna laugh the whole way in.
Oh, you're a dick.
Oh,
All right. All right. So, yeah. What are you guys doing?
Reading the journal.
I'm
Alright.
pretty sure I am.
Well,
Great,
out
so-
loud.
I don't know whatever else. Yeah,
Secretive glory man.
Yeah, let's read the journal out loud over a campfire.
Oh,
So,
I mean,
yeah.
that's over the campfire, but I get what you're saying.
Does anybody
Yeah.
have an acoustic guitar?
how
Yes.
about an electric lute?
We have an electric one. Doesn't work by the campfire. All right, so you're reading through the journal here. So this journal, it's all written in common. It's very, very fancy flourishes of the ink quill and everything like that. Very fancy handwriting. Going through it, you see this journal. It explains how, starting from the beginning there, it explains how the professor had received an odd letter about 3 months prior, so claiming to have found ruins that were holding great secrets. So after sending a surveying team, and confirming that the site did in fact exist, Professor arranged to make his way out here to excavate the ruins. So talks about when he arrived and seeing the village, which he clearly had some level of distaste for. He thinks the people there, with a few exceptions, like it does mention Donnie by name, as well as Kamara back at the tavern there. But everyone else he doesn't hold in very high regards. But he did still nonetheless hire many of them to come out and work on the dig site. So when they did finally uncover the stone passage there, he details the anxiety that he had just anxious to explore and to see what secrets were hidden there. But that excitement quickly turned to frustration when he had reached that first chamber and found a door blocking any further progress. He describes the door as having a eagle carved into it. He tried everything from clever solutions to more brutish ones, but nothing seemed to work. From there, the journal starts taking a bit of a darker turn. Professor's handwriting suddenly becomes very shaky. His obsession with opening this door is only overshadowed by a certainty that someone has begun to follow him. He has caught someone peeking at him around dark corners, and nights when he was returning to his room at the Red Sty, he's heard movements in the brush behind him. In the final entry, Professor he comes to the conclusion that his paranoia is nothing more than that, just paranoia. From all the stress of trying to get this door open, it ends with him expressing his intentions to take a few days to simply rest and go and clear his head back at the village. There's no further entries there.
Wow.
Well, I certainly don't know paranoia.
Considering the information we have now, either he got eaten by gators on the way back, or he got lost.
It was
Because
a
no one in the
swamp
village has
squirrels,
seen.
man.
Yeah, no one in the village has seen him since then, and no one here has seen him since then.
True, but if he had disdain for most of the village, it could be assumed that they had disdain for him also. So they might not be forthcoming with his whereabouts. Like,
Yeah, I suppose, but we also didn't really ask. I guess we asked two people.
well, we asked Kamara, who he had a good relationship with, and she didn't see anything. But Golet, he's not the
That's
most
right.
welcoming person.
That's
So-
right. I think my vote is on Gullet. We sail right back and we interrogate him.
I love the bravado.
Hey Sloan, now that you're back with us, do you have anything that, I don't know, tracks people down? Can you turn into something that sniffs stuff out?
Unfortunately, I don't have wild shape yet, but I should be able to think of something.
Okay.
I-
Because we have a
My
shirt.
spells are battle related, other than craft, so I don't think I can do much unless we took another short rest. But I suppose you guys have already just done that, so that'd be a bit counterproductive. But
Sure.
Druids,
Why
they
was so hard to get through the door? The door asked us if we wanted to walk through it.
Well, he was a boring professor person. Mercer just tastes good.
I don't know. I think y'all seem a little bit interesting, if I may say. You don't seem like the typical people, run of the mill people. I mean, you have a bard with you.
Yeah.
druids are like in tune with nature and all that. Does that mean you can speak like to trees or animals?
If she's made to do all that.
Yeah, I like I said, my spells were all ready for. I wasn't sure what I was going to encounter, and all my spells are attack space. But if, like I said, if we can go out,
she needs a long rest to switch the spells.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
Yeah.
Sloan.
Well,
Sloan.
even if we had her do something now, we're still in the swamp ruins. You know?
No, we're not in town. Yeah.
No. And
Mhm.
okay,
And-
maybe this is bad because we're
Maybe-
fresh out of the guild, but what happens if we find out what the professor was doing but not recover the professor? Do we still get paid?
The
Well,
contract
I
specifically
doubt it.
said that as long as we discover the
I
fate of
think-
the professor, we get our money. So,
Here's the
dead
thing,
or
I
alive,
think-
we're good.
if we're lucky enough to find him alive, we could ransom this information we found about the gate, about the whole situation, and we could get money out of it. I mean, we need money to go fund our adventures. We could be like, we know how to get through the door.
We
We
do
will get paid for
need
this.
money. I like what Sloan is saying.
I mean, I'm
So-
not. I don't like.
We're already ransoming people.
This is where we're at right now.
Okay, the contract had also said if we recover anything valuable, like, I don't know, that information, we get 250 gold without ransoming anything or
Wait,
anybody.
Sloan.
Well, it's not
Sloan.
so much ransoming as offering. It's just another word for it. All the pleasantries and stuff. I'm not one for pleasantries.
How about this, Mercer? How about this? So
We
we
can
go
roll
through
it.
we go through the door, but we also give after we go through and get what we need, we still go give the information back to the guild so because they won't know that we went through the door. So we still get 250 from them plus whatever we find. Because by the time
Plus the brewery.
Or I was suggesting
Plus
this
brewery.
seems worried enough about the door. It's almost sunk into paranoia. If we, how much would he? I hate saying this, but we need funds in. How much would he be willing to pay if we told him how to get in the door?
We don't even know that he's alive. And
Or
I mean,
if he has
kind
money.
of suggesting we just say,
Hey,
he's
we have
dead.
I mean, in fairness, we don't know if he even has money. When I checked his room was ransacked. So
So I think
unless
that
he's
we
carrying a lot of gold on him, and he already paid all of his workers too. So who knows if he still has money?
He's
I'm sorry,
wearing a shirt.
Let's just backtrack for a moment. You said his room was ransacked. He thinks he's been followed by a figure. He went missing in the swamp. That's kind of concerning.
No, he
Did
didn't go
any-
missing in a swamp. He's missing from town. He hasn't been here.
Okay.
yeah, he missed from town because of the blood we found in his room.
The town people don't like him. Would someone kill him?
But
Like
the
an
lion
assassin.
doesn't like him.
I know for a fact that someone named Gullet doesn't like him.
I
It's
just
true.
don't think he would kill it.
And quite
Gullet-
frankly, I
Investigate
don't like
Gullet.
him either.
The figure's following him.
Golet's
Grim-
kind of right. It's not going to be Golet who follows him because Golet's kind of too big for that. So he must have had someone else doing it.
Grim and Nadir, I have a question. Have either one of you ever actually talked to Gullet? Or are you just
I-
going off of secondhand information?
No, I
Look,
talked
look,
to
look,
him.
look.
I was there when you talked to him. When we asked for his boats, and he didn't seem like a nice guy.
Yeah, he was pretty rude.
I
He
don't
was
recall
very
the
rude.
conversation.
I think he said something
No.
like, "I am a terrible person, and I oppress citizens of this land." That's at least the part that I remember.
I do think we should try to complete our mission, though. I mean, that's the whole reason. At least some of us are adventurers is to protect the innocents, and I think we should do that. But I also think we should get as much money as possible out of it.
I'm telling
And
you,
imagine
if we go through the door ourselves and get treasure, we can still give the information back to the guild because they won't know any better. Because it says
It's a good idea.
250 gold for anything we find. We found a
I-
way to get into the door. They won't
Yeah.
know.
I just
But-
have this terrible feeling that we're going to find whatever it was he was looking for and only find that and not find the professor. But
We have our priority of finding the fate of the professor, and I'd rather him, not die because we're too busy looking for treasures in a dungeon that we know nothing about, or even if there is any treasure in there. We just
I
know
was
there's a
really
door.
surprised at that coming from you, Mercer. I thought that door kind of did have your name all over it.
Yeah,
I like you.
We find the professor. We give him back to the guild. He's traumatized. I can rest up. I have a charm person spell. We can make him head back to the guild while he's gone in the guild after we find him. Or if he's dead, whatever works. We can wait to report the information until we check out the door afterwards. We save him in a timely manner and go back and get stuff from them.
Wouldn't the
We have
first
to
thing
find him first.
we need to do is figure out if he took a boat back to town and if he made it?
Well, he
That
never
is
made it
factual.
back to the ruin site. Donnie said that he hasn't seen him for a
And-
couple of days.
So he didn't take a boat.
Interesting.
So he's
a
somewhere
break,
must
so
be
it-
near here.
Taking a break. He's somewhere between here and the village.
His-
That's
Maybe
about
we
a
should
week
just
ago
go-
was the issue.
His room is ransacked, and somebody cut themselves on a nail. And Mercer refused to lick that nail because I asked. So we have
that's
no idea where he is.
blood evidence.
So-
There might be a spell or something I can use later. We should check it. I might not have it because I'm first level, but we should check. Don't like the blood evidence. We could use the blood evidence for I don't know something. But it's important information that he says he was worried somebody was following him because I just think we should follow that lead. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe as a group we decide to do something different. But
It is a lead that I think is worth considering, but it's not much of a lead. He thinks he's been followed. We have no idea by who or what. All we know is that
No.
he was slightly paranoid about something, and then he disappeared.
Maybe we
But
can ask
maybe we
Donnie.
should look for evidence
Yes.
or clues.
Maybe.
Exactly. But I just think it's weird. The room was ransacked, and then he was also concerned about being followed before he went missing. It's weird.
Maybe
I
we could ask
say
Donnie if he's.
Yes. Donnie
seen-
seems very trustworthy.
Maybe
I
we
mean,
ask-
Donnie.
what was the name? The barkeep, Karina or something? Maybe she'll have an
Kamara.
answer. Kamara.
Yes, can't. Yeah,
If anybody's noticed
I'm
anybody.
down to go say hi to Kamara again.
yeah. She
Of
gave
course
us
you
lots of
are.
free drinks last time.
I think our best bet is to head back to town because that was the
Okay.
direction. That was the last known direction we know he was heading.
But do we
So-
know if he actually headed there? The only way is by boat. So is a boat missing?
From
Should we
here?
go
'Cause
find that out?
Yeah,
we're
we should
at the
quit.
ruins.
You should
I
check
bet
that.
Donnie would know.
Yeah.
Go ask
Go
Donnie.
ask him.
You answer.
To Donnie.
To Donnie.
All right, so who's approaching Donnie?
We all are. mass.
Yeah.
En masse.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Just really quick before we approach him, does he like you guys?
Yeah, we had a
I
pretty good
flattered him. I
talk.
think he likes us.
I don't know if he like calls us his best friends or not, but
Or if he's
It-
apprehensive about you guys, we could send. He hasn't seen me, so we could send me. I would be a new.
he told us what a journal was though, so
Yeah.
there has to be
He
some
trusts
level.
us.
Yeah,
Of
he likes the
trust.
professor and he wants to help the professor, and we're here to
Yeah.
help the professor.
Like so, trigger ready with him. I was just a little concerned he might not be the friendliest to you, but we should be good.
Yeah.
We're good with
All right.
Is Donnie a human?
Oh yeah, Donnie is human.
Oh, I will
Also.
approach him then.
And if all else fails, Nessa will pay him.
Yeah,
I'll
so,
approach alongside him.
And then, so as you're approaching them, at this point, they're pretty much kind of getting settled back in over by their tent there, getting settled in for the evening. It is starting to, it's not quite dark. It's kind of just gray out with that kind of greenish glow that you start getting in the twilight hours out by the swamp. And yeah, he's standing over there, sees you approaching, and kind of stands up straight as he can and kind of straightens himself out. And is there something I can help you with?
Oh, my fine friend Donnie. I put my hand out on his shoulder. Yes, there is something you can help us with. It's about the professor too. I know you were very fond of him. We were wondering if a boat was missing, or maybe if you knew if anyone wanted to hurt him.
Kind of looks nervously over at your arm on his shoulder there, and then looks back at you, and he's just, well, he had a boat. It's pretty much the only way to really get out this way, but I don't know if it's missing or not. We've not been back to the village in quite some time. My understanding, though, is that he never made it back out that way, and we certainly haven't seen him here.
So he
So
did
wait.
move with his boat from here.
I'm gonna kind of step towards him until I'm about 10 feet away from him, and then I'm gonna kind of tap my hand on his other shoulder. I'm going to use my Kalistar ability, in which I can do a mind link response, and I can telepathically talk to him as long as I'm with 10 feet of him. I'm going to say, "Are you sure you're telling the truth there? Better not be keeping secrets from us, because I'm sure you'll find out." I'm going to say that telepathically. I'm going to try and intimidate him, because I clearly see how the party's taking this.
Okay. Roll me intimidation.
I was gonna insight check him.
Oh, sorry. That's a 5.
A 5, yeah. So, I mean, this is out of the 3 brothers here, you can tell he's definitely the youngest. He's on the scrawnier side, anyways. So, even with you on your own and your group behind him, you can see he clearly gets very shaken up and kind of shifts his way awkwardly to get Grimm's hand off of his shoulder there before he starts backing up and trips over the stool that he had laying there and kind of scrambles quickly back to his feet. And I've told you all I know. Please,
sure about that?
That's I know nothing else.
It'll be we won't be happy if you don't tell us the truth. The guild, I doubt the guild will be happy either if you're hiding information about the professor. So keep that in mind, especially if any of your brothers or if you know anybody else in the village who might be ill-willed concerning.
About that time, the two other brothers start making their way out of the tent there, and the oldest of them, not the largest, the middle brother is certainly larger, but you can tell this one speaks with more authority in his voice and walks over towards the group and, what the hell do you think you're doing to my brother here? Are you okay there, Donnie?
No, Sloan. Don't scare the poor boy. And I put my arm on his shoulder again.
Oh, what? You're
Just
scared
like-
of all druids.
I don't even know what happened, honestly.
You know druids, they get a little bit of too much moss in their tea and they start to act a little aggressive. Sorry about that.
A little
Donnie,
mushroom.
All right.
You've been very, very helpful, Donnie. Just, remember, we're here to help the professor. Thank you for your help previously. Do you remember him, talking about sketchy people, maybe following him around or, something that just fed into his paranoia?
Don't know nothing about it. He'd come back here ranting and raving and going on about someone following him, but other than that, he kept to his work. We went up there and we dug up what we did, and then he'd go about his business. We went about ours until one day he didn't come back.
Did he give a description of who was following him, or some type of description?
No, there was nobody following him. The man was losing his mind. Been trying to get into this damn little ruins down here. Thought he was smarter than he was. When he wasn't able to, he couldn't take it. Donnie swears that something else might have happened, but, well, see, the kid gets a little shaky.
Really quick,
Donnie swear?
Good to you, Donnie. That's your name, right? Was he nice to you, or was he not nice? Was he a jerk?
Donnie just kind of looks at you for a moment, kind of shies away a bit. And, oh no, he was mighty fine to my brother there. He was his right-hand man. While the rest of us was digging, he was carrying around a book and a clipboard.
Was he good to the diggers, or was he ever bad to them, rude to them?
Well, the man paid us well enough to yell a bit when he wanted to, but we're not exactly the types to take too kindly to mistreating.
I want to ask the older brother to walk the step with me for a second to talk to him one-on-one.
Oh no, I think I'll stay right here besides my brother. Last time I left him alone, I found you all out here playing a little bit of tormenting games, huh?
All right. Yeah.
I want to step to.
Yeah, if it makes it comfortable, I'll walk over to there or something.
Yeah, I think Sloan for now would be fine if you were to step away. I have about 2 more questions for Donnie, and I think that should clear most things up.
Can I do an insight check on the 3 brothers too? I'm curious about them.
You can roll an insight check on one of the brothers right now if you want to. Who are you trying to check about?
That is another dice in the dice jail. That's like, where's my insight modifier? 9? Oh no, 13. Sorry, it was a 9, not a 6.
Yeah, seems to be. They don't seem to be being insincere. If anything, a little defensive, a little bit on guard here from you all, but they don't seem like they're trying to be deceptive anyway.
Nadir, did you want to ask them something, or are you good?
I wanted to step to the older brother and look him in the eye, telling him that we know Donnie knows something about the professor's disappearance, and you're stopping him from telling us, and that's not appreciated.
All right,
So-
I say we stop being so hostile to these poor workers. They're just trying to do their job. I don't have any reason to believe that they're being so heinous to hide information about the professor. They're getting paid by him. They have no and I think they wouldn't mind going back to digging and just getting paid by him. So
There's nothing to gain.
I have 2 questions, and we should just get out of here because if you don't want us and we don't want to keep bothering you. How's that sound? 2 more questions and we're out?
Well, make them quick. You worked a long
Yeah.
day. We'd like to get some rest. This isn't exactly how I planned on winding down, if you know what I mean.
That's fair enough. All right, Donnie, I just have one question. Do you know what his boat looks like? Or is it just the same as every other boat?
Well, it'd be pretty much the same as anybody else's. We all get them from the docks over there. We've all got to rent them from that bastard gullet.
Okay, so how many boats did you guys rent then? Like total? Or that should still be here based on how many workers are still here and the amount rented?
Oh, well, first day coming out, there was probably, maybe 10 of them or so. Then after that, he held on to 2 of them just to kind of ferry some back and forth.
And you said you rented them from the gullets.
Aye. He owns the docks, so there's nowhere else to get them from.
We
That's
rented
the
from
Goliath
Gullet
that you
too.
got your boat from.
We could get an approximate date for when he left last or when he arrived last. We should talk to Gullet.
Just one more thing is do you know for sure that Gullet left town or left the camp and went back to town? Is that like a confirmed thing or is it still up in the air?
You mean the professor?
The professor, yes.
Oh, well. Couldn't say for sure. All we know is one day, came through here, he checked the site, made no headway like always, got in the boat and headed out. From what I understand, they never saw him back at the village.
Can I insight check that just real quick?
Yeah.
Can I help him?
Am I getting helped or no?
Can I help him?
Yeah, you can go ahead and both do an insight check for it.
Okay, well
Just
then
average it
I got
together.
a total of 13.
Alright.
That's a natural one. Dice jail.
Not
Yeah,
the
so,
flop,
um,
not the whole roll.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3 points.
seems to be 100% honest. I don't seem to be insincere in any way.
All right, Donnie, you've been pretty truthful with me so far. We'll go ahead and get out of here. I apologize for any inconvenience or stress we may have put on you. Let's go ahead and head out back to our boat.
We gonna take this to the swamp in the dark?
I'll see you around, Donnie.
I'm just,
Back
Alright,
to
what-
my
why are you guys so antagonistic to everyone?
What
As
time
we're
is
leaving, I'm gonna kind of turn, and when the party's a little bit ahead, I'm gonna kind of wink and glare at them, and then walk off.
All right,
Half-
so yeah, Donnie breaks your gaze as soon as you catch it, but the other brother doesn't even seem to notice. But the oldest brother, he stares right back at you.
I wasn't
go.
trying to be antagonistic. I just wanted to make a friend.
So be it.
It's been a while.
Let's go count those boats. So at most there should be, not including our boats, there should be 8 of them, or at minimum there should be 8. But no, because there's 2 they're used to ferry. I don't know if they're still ferrying.
No, he said
So-
that he said that initially when they all came out there, they did so with about 10 boats, but since then they kept 2 on the shore for like ferrying people back and forth. One of those boats the professor had taken when he left, so the other boat
So
is
they
still
only
remaining
have
there for
one
the
boat.
brothers.
So,
Correct.
so
One vote.
let's go.
So-
There should be either 9 or 10 boats, not including ours. Let's go check and see if that's true or not.
Remember, we have three canoes with our party alone.
No,
Yes.
2. We have 2 canoes
Well,
with
We
don't know
brought
about
2.
3.
Sloan brought her own.
Sloan brought her own.
ours. Oh.
Correct. So you guys do have a third one there as well.
So there should be a total of 12 or 13 boats. Let's go check that out and confirm or deny what they said.
Now, who has the highest intelligence? You should probably count.
Not me.
Not me.
Super not.
I'd like to believe anybody with an intelligence of common pace should at least be able to count up to 15.
Not if you have
Alan?
minus. I don't know.
That'd be cold right there. That'd be like, how many boats do I see? I don't know. Roll intelligence. You
Can I
forgot to-
read this newspaper?
Can I read this newspaper? Roll intelligence. Oh, nope. Sorry, you're dyslexic for the day.
All right,
All
let's go
right.
ahead. Count
So
those boats.
is there a boat missing?
So when you guys get over to the shore that you're at right there, so again, the boats that were there were two from the that the crew and everything had left, but one had been taken. There is still one boat remaining there, aside from the three that you all brought yourselves.
So his boat is missing. So he did
He
leave
got on
this
the boat.
campsite.
He left on the boat.
Are any of the
So-
boats injured or scuffed in any way, like beyond the usual?
Nothing beyond just regular wear and tear. It looks like these are pretty old boats. You can see at certain points around the bottom what look like just large teeth marks across the bottom there. But other than that, nothing that really stands out.
I guess
Where those
our next logical step
The
is to
town?
go ask Golet if the professor returned with the boat, because the professor would have to return the boat to Golet.
Yeah.
If
That's what
it didn't go back to town, then we should see some hint of it having been in the river or taken off the side of the river on the way back.
I was gonna say
Oh,
on
we
our way
could-
back, we should keep a lookout, see if we can't find that boat.
And pay extra day for our horses if we have to.
I had
Yeah.
that in mind still. Don't worry.
Yes.
Keep track of my debts. Don't worry about it.
About what time is it right now?
At this point, it's approaching around 8:30 or so. The sun has gone down. It's all but clipped over entirely over the top of the tree line there. You can tell it's not quite. You can't see any glimpse of the sun. It's just kind of an orangish sky as it's going down. You'll probably be down in the next 30, 45 minutes or so.
Who has
So-
dark vision?
I have
Not
dark
me.
vision.
I have dark vision.
Okay.
So we might want to wait until the morning to traverse the swamp.
That is
Correct.
true.
Yeah,
but-
It's probably best to wait till the morning since only two of us can see.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
and
owe
I'd
more
give
on
you-
those horses.
See what spells I can
I'm
catch
gonna
up with
have to
the
pay
I mean,
interest.
owing more or trying to navigate a dark swamp with crocodiles at night.
It sounds
down.
appealing. I don't know about the rest of you.
Yeah, but compound interest is less appealing to me.
I like
Good
nature.
Well,
don't
I'll
rest.
put it this way. I'm good to go at night. So, I'm
Right,
not worried about going at night.
Plus, I imagine we could at least have torches along the river. It shouldn't be too hard to keep up a light far enough for everyone to not be completely blind, but it would be difficult to spot a boat.
Or a crocodile.
The crocodiles would be hard to see. Even
Well, to
with
be
torches
fair, when it
at
was
night.
daytime, we didn't see the damn crocodiles, so what does it
That's
matter?
I mean,
All right, I didn't get chomped on last time.
I did.
I did, and I'm still on the go. But I think for our
I'll
blind friends here, we should stay the night.
I'll let's ask the blind friends if they want to go or not.
Blind friends, would you like to go?
I ain't blind. I just can't see in the dark like normal people.
Your
I'm one
normal is not my normal.
This is true. I lived in a cave, so.
How can you not see in the dark?
Because you don't have to see in a cave. You just feel it's an earth thing. Don't tell
Fine.
yourself with it.
To
So,
be completely honest, half the time I'm swinging with my eyes closed anyway, so.
I'm
I don't
hearing
really
3
mind.
S's.
I
That's-
usually stand next to you.
Well, last time you zapped me, maybe it'll be
Oh.
a bit of revenge.
This is true.
So we got 3 yeses. Is there another one?
Child, bard.
As long as I'm not rowing, I guess.
As long as I'm not-
I'm hearing 4 S's. It sounds like we're going at nighttime.
All right. So, are you guys splitting off into 3 boats of 2, or how are you guys splitting up? Who's going with who?
How big? The boats can fit 3, right?
Correct.
Yeah, but we have 3 boats, so we might as well return all 3.
So 2 boats or 3 boats or 2.
Pretty much.
Do we have a candle or torch or something? Because I could light it with druidcraft if we have it.
I
Last
suppose
time I
we
took-
should probably check our adventurer packs and see if we have a torch.
I have many torches.
It sounds like we're all set then.
I
How
could
about
light
we
a torch.
Oh, I have
can
a
light
lamp.
a torch with my a lamp. That's even
Yeah.
better.
Oh yeah, we could. I could like
I have a
sit
lamp.
the boat with my short sword, and we keep it as like a guiding lantern type deal.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a bit of it's a gothic lantern, but I have a lantern. A little creepy, but it'll work.
I'm going to pull out. I don't know. I'm going to pick up a stick from the ground, and I'm going to cast light.
All
It
right.
Light
kind of
stick.
seems like we have more than enough light.
Cool. So you guys
There
got
we
glow
go.
sticks.
Oh
I have
wait,
a very bright
Nessa, how
light
many?
with a 20-foot radius and an additional 20 feet of dim light.
All right. So you guys have glow sticks. Has anybody got the electro music?
The what?
That's an hour.
Nessa, I have a question. Can you cast light onto arrows?
Oh, I got it.
Yes, I can cast it onto any object.
All right. I have here a little short bow, so I guess if there's anything of interest, we could shoot a lighted arrow at it.
Ooh. So Nessa should go
Ooh.
with you then
I suppose.
inside your canoe, because that'd be good.
Unless
We're
anyone else
doing,
has like a crossbow or something they want to use like that.
I also have a crossbow. No, not a crossbow. A light bow?
We have the 3 canoes, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are we doing 2 and 2
We could
then?
do-
Two, two,
Yeah.
two.
Maybe we could pair each, since we have 3 non-visibles, we could pair 1-on-1, so everyone who can see in the dark go with someone that can not see in the dark.
Yes,
so
that's what I
we
was
have
thinking.
figures.
I have a
Sounds-
crossbow.
Definitely.
Great idea.
Sounds good to me. So
Who's with me?
I will join you.
Awesome.
All right. So
Who's
we
got-
got Sloan
The
and.
Genasi are rolling together.
All right.
All right. So Sloan and Grim.
this may be a slight problem. I have a child and I'm extremely weak. This rowing boat business is gonna be bad.
Yeah. And then.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and tie my boat to the back of one of y'all's boats and we'll just call it a day there.
Actually,
Hey.
that's a good idea. So we don't lose.
I am not pulling your weight around, Mercer.
I
Nah.
will be rowing a little bit. I can at least produce my weight.
Here's
We
an
should
idea.
tie our boats together so we don't drift off at like
Do you
a.
not remember how strong Nessa is? She was wielding that Morning Star like it was nothing. She's not weak. She's not weak. Just
But she
saying.
said she didn't want to row.
Because I
was
can't
the one who
see
caught
you,
that?
not because I can't lift it.
She can't see.
Yeah, okay,
Why would you
fine.
let me drive?
You could cast light on the oars.
They
Not
go
to
in the
mention,
water, though.
not to mention
Yeah,
she weighs
I
like
don't
what,
know.
90 pounds.
Light on oars might attract crocodiles. I
Or
think they
scare
got-
them off. Here's an idea. We use the rope to tie all of our boats together so we don't lose each other in the dark. Because I
And
feel
if
like this
one
is
goes down, we all go down. Just like we learned at the
40.
guild.
Foot
Screw
with
that.
the
I'm
light.
cutting my rope immediately if I see one of y'all go down. I may not be strong, but at least I'm deaf with daggers.
I'll be praying to my dad to transport me out of here.
Guys, this light will light up like literally the entire river. It's a 20-foot radius, and then another 20 feet of dim light. We're good.
All right,
You're
so
gonna
we're
see
good.
like it's
Yeah,
fucking
but
dead.
I can see up to
still
60 feet in
think
the
we
dark, so I'm already set.
Yeah, I got 60 feet also.
just
So.
to be safe.
All right, let's mount up on the boats and set off, I suppose.
That's
All right.
cool.
Just- I have 50 feet of hempen rope. I'm just gonna do a quick knot around each of the boats and connect them. Just to be safe, we can pull each other out of trouble.
All
All
right.
right.
So you guys are you guys got you pairing off. It's Sloan and Grim, Magni and Nadir, Nessa and Mercer, all pairing up there. So first off, starting off with Sloan and Grim, you guys give me a group athletics check real quick, please.
Ruh-roh.
Cool. With strength? Oh, yeah,
that's-
athletics.
Athletics.
That's gonna be a natural 1 for old Grim
Oh, buddy.
for a
Alright.
total of 6.
All right, Sloan.
14.
14. All right. Magni and Nadir.
Please, God.
I think I pulled something
16.
slow.
16.
And
What was
Seven?
that? 7?
7.
You guys are clearly doing better than us.
Please,
What was
God.
that? All right, and then if Nessa isn't rolling, then just Mercer give me a athletics check.
Is
Christ.
this for rowing? the boat?
Okay, I got it. Okay, so I got a natural 18. Make that a 17.
A 17. All right.
Minus one.
-1.
Told you I am not very strong.
All right. So basically, as you guys start getting going on the water there, and you guys are rowing along, it's gonna put
Still did better than
freaking
you.
Mercer! Ugh, God!
it's gonna put Magni and Nadir going off ahead of the group there, followed by the boat with Sloan and Grim, followed by the boat with Nessa and Rowan all by himself. Mercer sitting there, working up a sweat.
Why did we? Is this river? Is this upriver or downriver? Why am I sweating so bad?
At this point, you guys are in fact going against the current, so you guys
Wedge
are.
the stick
Oh,
into the front of
man.
the canoe, and I will help row. Is that better?
All right. All right. So with that, so you want to throw me in a athletics check there?
Yeah.
Please don't throw away my hard work.
Oh, it's an 18 plus 0.
All right. So essentially, with that, watching him back there struggling and looking like he's about to have a freaking hernia. Finally, Nessa goes over there and takes one of the oars there. Between the two of you, you actually end up catching up and quickly surpassing the rest of the group there, as you guys are just kind of
And
hustling
we're
and
all
bustling
tied
along.
together. So now the canoes are.
So now
which
you
way to go
guys,
this way? Like,
so now you guys are kind of tied off side by side.
Okay.
We made a triangle.
Yes, we have a triangle dragging
I will-
Grim and Sloan.
Oh, as best as I can, I'm keeping an eye out on both shorelines, see if I can't see another boat just
Well,
gloss
actually,
somewhere.
how about you take one shoreline, I take the other, since we both have dark vision.
All
so we
right, I'll
can
take the
just
left.
focus. I'll take the right.
All right, so both of you give me perception checks. No, you can do them regular.
Okay.
17.
17,
That's a total of 20.
20. So you guys are making your way up this against the current here, though it's not going particularly strong, so it's not too much resistance. It's definitely trying to push you back in the opposite direction there, though. At the same time, Nadir and Mercer are keeping their eyes off, keeping them peeled to either side, trying to catch sight of any signs of a missing ship there. While it doesn't look like you're going to see anything, you are starting to get closer and closer back towards the village. Before probably you're about 20 minutes or so from where you would reach the village. Mercer looks over the edge there. And at first, looks like just some log under the water there, but paying a little bit more attention before it passes by, you quickly realize that whatever that is under the waters certainly has the shape of a boat to it.
Yo, I think I might see something that maybe should not be where it is. I'm guessing it's a boat. If we want to do a full point stop and go check that out real quick.
We can
Yeah.
do a stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see at
We
least
could use a
2
break
other
too,
boats.
so
How far away is it from us?
Well, at this point, it's right underneath you guys. This water here, it only goes down at its deepest points. It goes down maybe 10, 15 feet or so. It's just a swamp, so it's not like a full deep river. But it's certainly dark and mucky down there, so it almost makes it look kind of deeper and even more mysterious underneath the surface.
all right. I think it's about time Chuck makes an appearance and he acts as our anchor right here.
oh.
See, Chuck is lucky because he can breathe underwater and act as an anchor.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is like a dream job for him right here.
Yeah, but
Why
he's
have we
only
have
like that
anchors?
big, I don't think it's gonna hold all 3 canoes, but whatever.
Okay,
Can
tie
I
some rope
roll?
around it.
Okay,
think
we're gonna
it's-
tie some
which
rope
means
around
is-
Chuck.
We could
I
use
think-
Nessa's Morning Star.
For those who don't know, that's Magni's pet rock.
So she gets some of the rope and she just very securely ties it around Chuck, making sure it's a good, healthy knot.
How much of this boat is above water and how much is below? Like, is it like
from where you guys are, the boat itself is about 11, 12 feet under the surface there. Well, the bottom of the water is sticking up. You've got a good 6 to 8 feet, depending on what part of the boat, before it would touch the bottom of your guys' boat.
Is there
Is
anything?
this a canoe?
It is.
Okay.
So can I use? This is going to be a little bit of a weird use of this cantrip, but I have the cantrip Thorn Whip. I can create a kind of thorny whip, and I want to use the whip, and I kind of want to grab onto the boat, and with the thorns, kind of pull it up and try to twist it so it's upright.
You could certainly try.
Magni
Okay.
has kissed Chuck and then chucked him overboard, and that should help even it out.
Or maybe you
what's
should help try and pull the boat out. Maybe you should give
Yeah,
a
I'll-
little bit of assistance there.
I want to grab
Then-
the boat and just try and use my might to pull it up as well. Help
All
pulling it
right,
up.
real quick, Sloan, you want to give me that roll for the thorn whip?
It's weird because it's a technically speaking a damage. So should I just roll a d20 or
Yeah. Just roll it like you would roll your damage.
natural 20 plus 5? That's 25.
Damn.
So you swing this into the water there, and it goes. You swing it hard, put all your power into it, but once it hits that surface of the water there, as it's going in, it's right on point to hit it. Whereas if it was out of the water, it probably would have. But as it hits the surface, it loses all direction and kind of just drifts back to the surface of the water there.
Well,
Is it
at least
no?
who feels like swimming?
No.
Make sure the crocodiles don't eat me, and I jump in.
All right. So
I'm
wait. Who just jumped? Who just jumped in this water?
I'm really hoping she brought rope or some shit so we
Sloan
can pull
just
it out.
jumped in the water.
Sloan just jumped in the water.
I just jumped in the water. You live it. You
Alrighty.
live it.
I was gonna say, Nessa, could you light up an arrow large on that stone?
A little late now, I suppose.
Yeah.
As I'm in the water, sort of to far away from canoes, make
It's a light, so shoot it towards the shoreline.
I can do it too. I will.
Okay. Wait, rewind. So that's over there. Nessa, what are you doing
I'm
right?
just gonna- if I your arrow, the other like goes away.
Oh.
One at a time.
Someone go with a torch. We need to make sure our friend here doesn't, straight
I light
die.
up my lamp.
I'll
I'm
I'll
gonna
use-
lift up my hand from the water and yell, I have a torch with me. I can make it over there. I just have to make it over there before yeah. It'll
Then
be
I'm-
fine.
Then
What are
I'm
you
going to light
doing?
the arrow.
What does it look like?
One at a time. What were you saying, Nessa?
I'm gonna light the arrow. And as I do, the one at the front of the boat just kind of like the light sort of like looks like it sucks in and dies out. And now the arrow tip is very, very, very bright.
All right.
I would like to aim it towards like the part of the boat that's sticking out of the water.
So there's no section of this boat that's actually sticking out of the water. It's all
Then the
fully
shoreline.
submerged.
The
You
shoreline
can
sounds
put it
good.
in the water. It's not fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But
See if you can take the boat.
That's what my suggestion.
boat then.
All right. So go ahead and give me a attack roll with arrow.
14, and then what do I add to that shit? Action. I would add a. Okay, so that's 19.
All right. So you fire the arrow off. It got a good pinpoint on it when you let go of the arrow. It doesn't quite get really beside the boat itself, but it does kind of drift down and follow a straight line before sinking into the bed below, about 4 or 5 feet off to the side of the boat.
Hey, that's good enough. It's 20-foot radius on that,
So,
right?
Yep.
what happened to the water when that happened? Because I
The
don't know,
wa-
is the water like still murky, but just like slightly brighter now, or?
Well, yeah, it's still murky because the murk isn't necessarily just like the color of the water. It's the the mud and just the slime and everything that naturally grows and floats around in swamp water. So it's still murky, but you can kind of see it glowing through. Coming up through the swamp water here gives it kind of this eerie green glow from underneath the water. You can still see clearly, though it almost looks like you're looking through like almost like a lava lamp. There's chunks of muck and everything here or there, but then you get this
Any
image of the bottom. But so there is no corpse or anything in the boat, but can everybody give me? You two are the ones looking out. Nadir and me perception checks. Well, you're less likely to see it because you're swimming in the water. 14. 20. All right, so Nadir doesn't notice anything, but Mercer does catch sight as this gator is moving in from the edge of the water there. It's kind of slowly slid its way. You thought it was just a large log sitting on the shore there a moment before. This one is far larger than the ones that you guys had seen before. At this point, as you're tracking this thing, you can see it moving in quickly. It's actually starting to advance from the shore. Quick reaction. At this point, this thing is aware of you all, so you don't have surprise on it. You have at this point, it is off to the side of the shore there. It's about 25 feet. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and roll initiative. But as of right now, you don't have eyes on it. Let's see, where is this? There we go. All right, so checking for initiative here. Who got a 15 and up? All right. All right. All right. And this guy right here. Cool. All right, who got a 10 to 14? Nobody? All right. Who got less than that? What did you get, Grim? 6. What'd you get, Magni? All right. And what did you get, Sloan? 1. Yeah, it doesn't apply to initiative. 2, all right. And I'm sorry, Grim, you had a 6, Magni, you had an 8. Okay, all right. Just wanted to be sure I got everybody where you belongs. Cool. Yep. So the first one going up here is going to be Mercer. Go for it. Oh, whew. All right, beautiful. So I think this is the first time that we're rolling a crit here. So those of you who don't recall from what I mentioned before, I do crits a bit differently. I hate when you roll a critical and then you roll like double ones and it's just worthless. So the way my criticals work is roll damage like you would normally, add the extra damage to the max. So if you would normally roll a d6 and add 3, roll a d6 and add 9, and so on and so forth. You get maximum on the additional damage. What'd you get? 15. Good lord. So you would basically roll it like you normally would, but whatever, like you know, if it's a d8 and you would normally roll 2 d8s, instead you'll roll that normal d8, you'll add a full 8, and then you'll add your modifier. Yeah, so basically the extra damage that you would get from a critical, you always get maximum on that. So it is fun and it's always enjoyable when you get it, but remember one very important rule into it. Same thing applies for everything that tries to hit you as well. Oh yeah. So you let loose this arrow and this thing spirals over perfectly. You catch it just as it's starting to descend underneath the water. It strikes right off into the side of its neck there. The thing kind of spins over on its belly and does a quick little spiral there. Not quite dead, but still you can see nasty blood filling up from underneath the water there, clouding it even more. From that brings us over to our nice big friend here, who, from that point, still with its target locked on there, spiraling in quickly over towards Sloan in the water there. Move in, first off, swinging in with its big jaws there. Sloan does a 18 hit. So you are going to be taking 6 damage, bludgeoning damage, or excuse me, that is 6 piercing damage. And you are, this thing has you under this water here.